here with Half Dozen Customs. We're back out here on Monte Carlo today. Last week we got this horrendous rust off of the side of this quarter panel. I don't know what you call this, B pillar, A pillar, B pillar, maybe B pillar and C pillar, I guess. We got that cleaned up. We got the windows removed from it. We cleaned up this strip rail over here. Now we're gonna work on this roof. Now I've already cleaned this roof once, probably like a year ago. And we've kept a car cover on it. You know, it stayed in here out of the elements. It hasn't done anything. There's no hot spots. There's nothing. You know, I see maybe a couple of drips here and there, which possibly could have been, you know, dripping out of whatever air tool I was using. But it's still fairly clean. It needed more work after I was done cleaning it. There's still a lot of rust on this side, like I've said before. You know, this side got stripped a long time ago. I think last week I said something like 30 years. Me and Colleen were talking about it. It was 25 years ago. So, and part of this got stripped over here. So I had that heavy we'll like this quarter panel does. So we're gonna run over. We're gonna start on this half over here. We're gonna run over it with the burnishing tool, and probably gonna have to do some sandblasting, maybe some grinding with the 80 grit again. Pretty much the same treatment that we gave over here on the quarter panel, we're gonna do on the roof. So we do got to clean along the back edge of this window and along the front edge of the front windshield. Those have not been cleaned up yet. So I got my little stands over here so that I can walk around comfortably. They're just some little homemade planks, I guess you would say, walking planks. And I got my burnishing tool. So let's let me grab some safety glasses and some gloves, and we'll get to it. So there's a dent right here, and it had a good crown and crease right here at the edge. And I was hoping maybe if we tap down that crown that it would pop out, but it did not. Now I am no PDR guy. I don't have PDR tools. We got that worked out pretty good. So there's still a little bit there, but nothing like it was. Okay, so next thing that I think we're gonna do, I'm gonna get some 80 grit on a DA, and we're gonna start DAing it out. And hopefully with DAing it down with some 80 grit, it's gonna show me all the spots that need to be sandblasted. You know, I know like right here, there's a bunch of spots that need to be sandblasted. I get that. But I do see like there's little stuff here and there that looks like it needs it as well. But it's kind of hard to see it because everything that we've done to it so far has put such a shine in the hood that it's kind of hard to see it. So I'm hoping maybe if we put the DA on here and we rough it up and take some of the shine away, that it'll show the rough spots. So okay, well, as you can see, this is gonna take a while, so I'm not gonna video all of it. Makes it harder for the wife to edit when I video, 2 hours of me sanding one piece. So I will check back with you guys when we're a little closer to being done with the 80. So far, it's looking really good. Some of the stuff that I was thinking that we were going to have to sandblast is coming out with the 80 grit. There is still going to be some sandblasting, but it looks like we're knocking it down some. So we'll be back. All right, so we got this all sanded down. It looks pretty good. We're going to sand down this back edge right now. I'm going to get some tape. We're going to tape off the window just in case. Don't want to make it any worse than it is. Alright, let's start some sandblasting. So, I'm sure you guys can see this right here. There's a huge rust spot and there's a huge dent in there. From the inside, there's this giant brace that goes across the back here, so I can't get to it from the inside unless I cut that brace out, and I'm not going to do that. And it is so stretched out. That dent is it's a hard impact. It's so stretched out that if I try to pinpull that, it's gonna go from a dent this big to a dent like this big, because the metal is so stretched out, and there's no way that I can shrink that metal back without being able to get to the inside. So we're just gonna leave that, and it's gonna get filled. I hate to leave it, but it looks like there's actually a hole there. I wonder if that's like a bullet hole or something. Alright, we got this thing pretty well cleaned up. I'm happy with it. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna mix up some Duraglas, and we're gonna fill in this bullet hole or whatever that is. It's kind of weird. But we're gonna fill it in, get rid of it so I don't have to look at it anymore. I was sitting there with an extra blob on the stick, and I was like, should I or shouldn't I? And I did, and I don't think I needed it. But you know what? We do have this back here. Well, we got that coated. Threw a couple extra on the other dents that I know of. You know, it's not something that I normally use on dents. Big dents, yes, like that. Welds, yes. Really bad rust pitting, yeah. But just little dings and dents, I don't normally use this stuff. But since we had it mixed up, it's just Bondo with fiberglass in it, so we'll get it sanded out. I got my Mudhog out here. We're just gonna Mudhog this stuff down real quick. I'm not really worried about, you know, it being straight. This whole roof is gonna get, you know, coated with a skim coat of lightweight filler, so, you know, this is just kind of the first. We were only really trying to take care of that, and I had extra to put around, so it's just kind of a drop coat almost. It's not really that important, so I'm just gonna Mudhog it and see what stays. Okay, so you can see we started with the burnishing tool over here. Now I'm gonna jump over to the DA. We're gonna DA it all down with some 80 grit and try and clean up the roof a little bit more, just like we did on the other side. And then there are a couple of spots on this side. Now this side still was completely covered in paint. We stripped this side a while back. But there was, like, you know, there was splatter of, you know, paint stripper from him doing whatever he was doing over there. There was, you know, missing paint in some spots. There was chips, there were scratches. And those spots have rust. Like, there's a little spot right here I see. There's a couple little spots up here that I see. So, you know, if we need to come back and sandblast a couple of spots, it's just gonna be a couple of spots over here. You guys watch me DA out some of that over there. I'm not gonna make you guys watch me DA this out. You know, it takes some time. You know, I'll probably have an hour just in sanding this out. So again, when we get close to finishing or whatnot with the DA, I'll turn the camera back on. I'll show you guys where we're at, and hopefully it'll come out good. You know, this quarter panel over here has been kind of cleaned up already. It does need to be cleaned up some more. We still have our filler over here that we need to sand. We got the seam sealer we got to pull out of this lip. We got to clean up this window channel now that we got the window out. It's going to need a little sandblasting in there. But being that we have this here now, this sandblasting station, I don't know that we're going to be getting to this tonight. If we do, it maybe just be like this top section up here and maybe the B-pillar. I don't know, we'll see, but I'm gonna start DAing this down and we'll be back. Okay, so got this side all DA'd out. It went a lot faster than I thought. It only took me about 20 minutes to do it. Like I said, this side had paint on it, so that side was a lot worse than this side. And I only see there's only a couple spots, like this edge right here needs some sandblasting. I think there was something over here and there's something over here that needs to be sandblasting, but they're just little spots. So this side cleaned up real nice, real fast. We got this little bit back here that needs to be cleaned up. You see I just taped off the window just in case. I'm gonna try and squeeze back here and reach over this. All right, we got that all cleaned out. You know, I see a couple of spots along this back window ledge that need to be sandblasted. I don't know that we're going to do that today. Right now, I'm going to jump over to that rain channel, that rain gutter. And we're gonna clean all the seam sealer out of that. So I'm gonna get you guys switched over to different stand and get you guys over in that corner so that you guys can kind of see what I'm doing, or at least stare at my butt. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're here. So we're gonna try and get all this out. Hopefully without destroying our Marglass. If we do, no big deal. But you know, if you remember on that side, we used a torch, we used some heat. We're gonna do the same thing here. So you know, if we melt off or bubble up this Marglass, so be it. It protected us from rust. That was the point of me putting it on there. Battery died. But I think we got it all cleaned out. Okay, we got this drip rail all cleaned up. It looks pretty good. There was a big blob over here on this back end of this drip rail that I thought was going to be seam sealer, and it turned out that it was lead. You can see it filled in there. If you guys can see the different shininess of the lead between the metal. So I wasn't expecting that. I thought that was just going to be seam sealer that we were going to be able to clean out of there, and yeah, lead was a little unexpected there, but I think it looks pretty good. We got it cleaned out. I think I'm going to sand down this windshield post here tonight, and then probably call it a night here. I want to clean up my mess that we made today. I want to blow this all off, and we're gonna put some tape and paper up there just to throw some little added protection on there. I'm sure we'll end up sanding it down one more time before we actually add filler up there. Like I said, there's a couple of spots that I want to sandblast before we, get into body work. We're probably not going to start body work next week on this. We're probably going to pull the trunk lid in, and we're going to get started on the trunk lid. Couple reasons. For one, I have this booth behind me that is kind of in the way of what we're trying to do here. So this is going to be up for a little while until I'm done sandblasting everything that I need to sandblast. So I'm thinking we'll just mask everything off and we'll leave it for now, and hopefully we'll be back at it like next month to maybe start some body work. Second thing, I'm running low on filler and primer here, so we need to do an order and go pick it up. All my paint company is out in Chicago. I've been using them for 20 years, so I'm not changing who I use. I have tried a couple of different paint companies out here and just not impressed with them. I like my family-owned paint shop that I have become friends with over the last 20 years. So we're, holiday season's coming up. We got Thanksgiving coming up. We got Christmas coming up. We're gonna be out there for to see family and that kind of stuff. So I'm planning on, doing a pickup here soon. Just not right now, not today, not tomorrow. So we'll keep working, we'll keep moving forward, and hopefully soon we will start getting into some bodywork stuff. But if we can work on the trunk and get that ready, and then we have the trunk and the roof ready to body work out and prime, then we can get both those done. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I can squeeze a few extra bucks out of our pockets and be able to pick up, even if it's just a quart of the color for this, and we can actually get this firewall painted. That way it's done, and we can actually, once the firewall is painted, we can actually start working on, maybe figuring out how to get a motor in here. I know I do have to order some engine mounts. The V6 mounts that were in here won't work on the 350. There's multiple holes. I don't know if you guys remember in the other videos, there's multiple holes in the frame for different motor mounts. These cars came with 6 cylinders, 305s, 350s. So there's different motor mounts for the different motors. The motor that was in here was a V6. I tried to move like those motor mounts forward. I looked to see if we could move those forward, and none of the holes line up. So I did look online for like 350 small block motor mounts for a Monte Carlo, and everything that just kept popping up was the aftermarket ones. So I don't know if we're gonna go with aftermarket. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find, I think next time I'm up at O'Reilly's or something, I'm gonna ask them if, you know, if they can get their hands on some motor mounts for this that fit the 350 small block. But once the firewall's painted, we can start maybe messing around at getting you know, maybe getting the motor put in. So, but yeah, I think that's it for me tonight as far as this video goes, and we will see you next week for a little trunk action. If you remember, I told you a couple weeks ago on that trunk lid that you know, 20 years ago or so, I punched the lock out on that. So that's something that we're going to be attempting to fix. We're going to either cut it out and try and straighten it, or we're going to cut it out and I'm going to use one for the door because we're getting new doors. So we may end up cutting the one out of one of these doors and using that as the trunk lock thing. We'll have to take a look. If I remember correctly, the trunk lock one is recessed in more like on the top, where the door handle ones, they're recessed in evenly all the way around. So stay tuned. We'll see if we can figure that out. So remember to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the video. Every week we're getting a little bit closer with this thing. One day Colleen will be driving it again. I'll see you guys later. I'm out.
Oh.